What's going on, guys? TKD once you back a video, and I just got done watching the PlayStation conference. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's start from the top. Okay, they took like 2-3 minutes. No, it was a while, right? They did a dope live orchestra, which that live orchestra was going to be there throughout the entire show. And it was a really good orchestra. It was not bad. It was a great compliment to the games that they showed and whatever they did. And the greatest compliment that the orchestra did, in my opinion, was the first game they unveiled, and that is the new God of War. And as far as I know, it is just called God of War. That's all they said. It was just God of War. It wasn't anything like God of War 4, God of War, whatever. It was just God of War. And it shows a old man Kratos, right, and his son. And they're going out in the woods, whatever, doing stuff like that, hunting, trying to learn how to hunt, whatever. And it was a gorgeous environment. It was a great looking game. It looked insane. And Kratos in battle had this thing called Spartan Rage, and when you activated it, he went completely insane. And it was an amazing looking gameplay for God of War. It was an amazing debut. I cannot wait for that game, and that was a great way to start off the Sony conference. Next up, they revealed the new IP by Sony Bend, which is a game called Days Gone, and it looks like a game that is about zombies and about the end of the world and like you trying to survive. And there's a brother element to it, and it looked very close to The Last of Us in a way, with the act of being out in the woods, surviving zombies. You know what I'm saying? Like, same type of, and yes, Last of Us didn't have zombies, but, mutated humans, right? It looked very close to Last of Us in a lot of ways, so, and definitely looks intriguing. Next up, they showed the long-awaited, over 10 years, something crazy like that, The Last Guardian. They showed some more gameplay of that, some more footage of that game, and they finally dropped the date. October 25th, 2016 will be the day that you will be able to get your hands on The Last Guardian. So if you're one of those guys that have been waiting since PlayStation 3 era, PlayStation 2, you will finally be able to play The Last Guardian on October 25th, 2016. Next up, they showed a pretty long gameplay of Horizon Zero Dawn, the game by Guerrilla Games, people that made Killzone, and this is definitely up there with my games to look out for in this next upcoming year. Like this one alongside, right now at least, God of War, because God of War, that completely blew me away. But this game also did that in the same vein to me last year, and this year it was no different. So they unveiled some new stuff that your character can do, which is called a focus scan, which shows weak points in enemy dinosaur robot type things. You know what I'm talking about. And they also unveiled that you can craft in the game, so you can make explosive traps and other items like that. And there are also these things called corrupted enemies that look red rather than blue. And they also have conversational decisions with dialogue in the game, so you can choose what you want to say next. And you also have the ability to tame animals in the wild for transportation, so you can tame, like, I believe in the gameplay it was like an ox type of thing, or it was like a bull that your character was able to take control of and ride to another location. And they announced the date for this game before this E3 conference, but just to reiterate that, it is February 28th, 2017, so you'll be able to get your hands on that game in February of 2017. Next up, okay, this is where PlayStation completely whip out the absolute firepower. Like, this whole entire E3 conference was incredible, but they started their complete rampage with Detroit Become Human. And they showed an amazing gameplay segment and an amazing trailer for this game. It is basically a game where you live out the same event and you go over the different outcomes of that event that you can have. And like, you're a robot in Detroit Become Human, and like it deals with the fact that there are robots in this world, and them not getting respected as real humans, because they're not real humans. So it's just all about that, and it looks very intriguing. It looks very thought out. It looks insane, and it looks like something that I would definitely be picking up. Next up, something totally out of left field. They were showing off PlayStation VR games for this year, and one that looked just like, a PT lookalike, or, just like a regular standard scary game, you know, in the VR headset was actually Resident Evil 7, called Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. You can play through the entire game with the PlayStation VR or without, your choice, and it will be launching January 24th, 2017, which is not that far away. It's really not. It's only about, you know, 6-7 months. So that in itself is, you know, pretty. That was a pretty big one in this conference. And then they went on to talk more about PlayStation VR, and they dropped the release date of that, and it'll be coming out October 13th, 2016, so you can finally go and pick up that VR for your PS4 on October 13th. And they announced that there will be 50 games at launch, and one of the games that they highlighted was a game called Farpoint, which is, it kind of looked like the premise of that Matt Damon movie. Oh my god, it was a book. It's Martian. That movie Martian, and you know, you're basically on this unknown planet, and you have to survive, and it's a whole experience in virtual reality. And the banger that they announced for PlayStation VR, so I'm talking about, is the Battlefront X-Wing VR mission. Oh my gosh. As you guys know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, so if I ever get the PSVR, that is the first thing I'm doing. Oh my gosh, please give me that right now. I will throw money at whoever I have to throw it at. One that I'm excited for too, but not as excited as the Star Wars, is the Batman Arkham VR. So I'm not what they have in store for that in terms of gameplay. I don't know if it's just like, you know, you can view the perspective of Batman, like that's it, or something else they got in mind. But there's a Batman Arkham VR coming out, and it's coming out really soon, October 2016, exclusive to PSVR. So that is looking like a legitimate launch title for PSVR. And they also announced a Final Fantasy 15 VR experience as well, and it looks like you'll be playing in first person mode and be able to combat in first person, so that looks pretty cool. And now we went on to Activision segment, where they showed some Infinite Warfare gameplay, and the beginning of the demo, it showed a map that you can control, and it looks a lot like the old style Star Wars Battlefront games, where you would have the galactic conquest maps where you can, you know, target specific areas and stuff like that. So it had that same type of feel to it, and it looked very, very, very sci-fi. It looked very much in the future. Like, they were not playing when they said it was going in the future. They was definitely not playing, and that wasn't really a turn on for me. It just looked very, very different. It looked extremely different from any other Call of Duty that we've had in the past, you know, with it being so much in space, and them, you know, having so much zero gravity in the level that they showed. And so it was a pretty interesting gameplay debut, and I'm pretty sure, you know, I will obviously buy it because, you know, I'm a big Call of Duty fan. But it did look extremely different than the other Call of Duties. And the Call of Duty that they showed that we were all familiar with was Call of Duty 4 Remaster. That classic COD music gave me chills, to be honest with y'all. Like, it was pretty dope to see that back. And I can't wait to be able to play that. You know, that COD 4 Remaster is going to be dope. And they also announced that if you pre-order the game, you'll be able to play the campaign of COD 4 a month before release on October 5th. So I'm not sure if that's going to voucher code or something like that, but you'll be able to play the campaign prior to release. And then probably the most shocking thing of the night, I was watching Kinda Funny's live stream, and Tim Geddes on Kinda Funny loves Crash Bandicoot, and they announced a Crash Bandicoot remaster, and he completely lost his freaking mind live on the live stream. It was awesome to see. It was very fun. I, you know, am not a big game Crash. I was definitely, you know, not alive during that time of gaming, but I'm really happy for Tim that he got his Crash Bandicoot remaster. So shout out to Tim Geddes, and shout out to the Kinda Funny crew. Thank y'all for providing so much entertainment, and you know, I appreciate you guys' services. Along with that, they showed a new Lego Force Awakens gameplay trailer, which, you know, looked awesome. Looked, you know, pretty cool, not gonna lie. I haven't played a Star Wars Lego game since PlayStation 2, so I definitely feel like I'm gonna be jumping into this. So I'll definitely, you know, give that a try if I can fit it in my schedule. And then they brought out the man that was disrespected by his own company, Hideo Kojima, the man himself. They brought him out. They brought him in under PlayStation's wing, and he debuted his brand new game. And it looks like it was the remnants of the Silent Hills game that was subtitled PT as the demo, and this new game is called Death Stranding. It does have Norman Reedus in the game as well, so you know you'll be able to play as him, I believe. But it is basically the remnants of what that other game was that they had to cancel. And then my oh snap moment of the entire thing was a Spider-Man developed by Insomniac Games, the people that brought us Ratchet and Clank. Spider-Man is coming to next gen. It looks incredible. I love the suit. I used to play Spider-Man back on PS2. I want to play it again, and we will be able to play it again on PlayStation 4 very soon from Insomniac Games. So I love that announcement. I cannot wait for that. That was the definite mic drop of the entire conference. And to wrap up the conference, they showed Days Gone gameplay from the game that we saw in the beginning of the conference, and it looks like it will be an open world. It looks very intriguing. It looks super intense. Like there was a ton of zombies after this one guy that you were playing as, and it got pretty daunting at times. Like, it looked like he wasn't gonna make it, and you know, obviously, you know, it's a game, so he obviously made it. But it looked very intense. It looks very interesting actually. So I might be, you know, looking into that game as we go on throughout the year, and as they give out info about Days Gone. And that was their E3 2016 conference. It was incredible. Yo, they did not hold back at all. Like, they did not give a damn about what Xbox did, about what. No, they absolutely killed it. And I do gotta say one more thing. RIP the Vita, man. Like, the Vita was not even said once in this conference. Vita, I love you, man. You was my homie, dog. I still have you right here next to me on my table stand, so you know, just props up to PS Vita. RIP to the Vita support that we'll never get. So you know, PS Vita, I'm still with you, dog. I'm still with you, dog. Why you gotta do the deal like that, man? And those are my thoughts and overview of the PlayStation E3 2016 conference. Let me know down in the comments below. Was this the best E3 conference that you guys have seen? Because I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter saying that, and I am definitely not one to disregard that statement. So let me know what you guys thought of this conference. Do you think 2 Chainz would love a Crash Bandicoot game? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, in my description, you can find my Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the good stuff from me on there. See what's popping up in my day-to-day life. And also, while you're down there, if you guys enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed the video, please support the boy and like, favorite, and subscribe. All that good stuff. Share the video with your friends. All that good stuff. Support the boy. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I got you.